Dineo, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming in. You're a Sesotho teacher. How did I do?
Very well. Very well, I must say. Thank you.
Let's start with the work that your organization does. What exactly do you guys do on the daily?
Okay, Mara sena dihlwela wela is a basotho cultural group where we preserve our culture as well as our language. We can't separate the two. So mostly we do cultural activities throughout the year, and usually on this day, on Heritage Day, that's when we have a very big event in Katlehong. But because of the COVID-19 restrictions, then we couldn't do it. But it's a very lovely group that is welcoming everyone. That is, of course, Basotho.
And I was looking just now at Slindelo and Sizakele Ngosimalobane, they're in Alexandra, and you see children taking part in the Jerusalem Challenge. That's fun, right? And I suppose that is the sort of fun that you could then use to transfer some of the indigenous knowledge then to the youngest in our society.
Yes, definitely. We tried it in our school, and I think it will be performed next week or something. And this Jerusalem Challenge is one of the cultures that are actually erupting in our country, and I really love it. So as Basotho as well, I think we're also getting into that as well. So we need to teach our children more of these things.
And as far as Basotho are concerned, how much of the culture and the info that relates to the heritage and everything else is actually documented?
We really try to document as much as possible. And with Mara, Hasna dihlwela wela, we're also trying to put as much information as possible in one place so that we can actually go into society and teach them more about being a Basotho. Well, I don't know if it is that enough or we're doing enough. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's a matter of now group work and brainstorming and, acknowledging where we are slipping off. I really don't know if you're doing enough. Yes.
And on preservation, is it an expensive thing to do, to try and preserve all this rich cultural information and heritage?
It is expensive, I'm telling you. And it's actually very difficult to come up with the funds as well. But we're trying as much as possible, honestly, because Basotho, as we are, honestly, we believe in Kimotu. So we try to put as much as possible the resources that we have and try to push it as far as possible. Yes, we do get help from other groups, not necessarily Basotho alone, but as much as we can, we're trying to do a lot. But it is
Are you getting a lot of support?
We do. We do get a lot of support, honestly. And at this moment, it is us as Basotho that are actually putting our resources together. In terms of maybe in terms of the businesses and stuff, it's not much, but we're getting there.
And just lastly, Heritage Day, we all talk about Heritage Month, September. The president then comes out on the 24th today and speaks and says, well done, this is who we are as a country. We're rich and diverse in our culture and heritage. Beyond September and Heritage Day itself, do you find that South Africans are interested?
South Africa is one interesting country, I must say. We find people who really love themselves. I mean, we're a diverse country, obviously, different culture, different people, and on a normal day you find people wearing their attires as much as possible, but so too are identified with their own visual attires, vendors, etc., etc. It happens throughout the year, I must say. And talking about us as well, we meet from time to time as Basotho to actually remind ourselves of who we are. So it is not just a one thing that happens in September or anything. We actually meet all the time. And even in schools, that's where we go all the time. So this is one interesting country, I must say, when it comes to culture and loving ourselves.
And
really
something else that I'm wondering about, I mean, yes, you are speaking to the history of Basotho and all of that, but we also live in ever-changing times, and every time comes with its own challenges. Right now, the country is having serious conversations about the abuse of women, gender-based violence and that sort of thing. Do you incorporate that into the work that you do to communicate it to communities who may, for example, not be able to take it in fully in the messaging from government?
Very much so. Very much so. Basotho, as we are Basotho, we are all about peace, and we're also about unity. We are one. So as much as we are one, we are also one with other people as well. So we try as much as possible to incorporate teaching about gender-based violence. It's not a nice thing. We see it every day, and I don't know why women have to be killed. Men as well are killed, I must say. So we should just be observant and really, let's love ourselves. Love your neighbor. Love a person next to you. Love someone who's less affluent than you are. So I think this is now the time where we should really be open-minded. And there's one thing that I really love about South Africa as well. There's inclusive of women in economical growth. It is really huge. It is inspiring, and it helps us to actually think even bigger as women. So this gender-based violence, I think, shall be managed in time.
You know, thank you so much. It's been so good to speak to you. I'm from the Free State, so seeing you here in all your splendor has taken me back home. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was Lineo Lelosa-Seleka, a member of the Basotho cultural group Mara.